don't know how long this episode will be, and it feels weird to record an episode about this because there have been so many episodes already done about this. I've listened to about a handful, and so it puts me in a super awkward position because I'm like, do I have anything to add to this? But because I have a podcast and this is one of the biggest events that has ever happened in the entertainment industry, I thought I might as well try to say something, even though I am very pressed for time. And my voice is a little raspy because I haven't been up for very long. So, where were you the moment you found out that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock on stage at the Academy Awards? So I was on Instagram, and an account that I follow was like, oh, I think there was an altercation, and it showed the initial clip, which was a clip without any sound to it. I immediately started going elsewhere, saw it, my phone was on fire, blew up, the text from friends and family that I was smart enough not to get on the phone so I could be on Twitter, letting Black Twitter what it does best. And I was like, fuck, I really wish that I followed more comics, because I had to like individually seek out some comics to read their takes on it. But it was like I was at home trying to watch Bridgerton. Will Smith hijacked my entire fucking night for hours. I was just like trying to get these jokes, trying to read these comments. The slap is one of those things where you can't make that shit up. So if there was no video of that slap and someone said that Will Smith rushed the stage and slapped Chris Rock, you'd say, you know what? I want the strain of whatever it is that you're smoking because I want to see what it'll do for me if it's doing all this for you. You just wouldn't believe it. And so it's like, thank God for video. And to that point, I feel bad. Jesus, I dropped my phone. To that point, I feel really bad for anyone who hears something happened and they say it's fake. They say, what do people usually say? I can't even remember. They say it's fake. They say it was scripted, all this. Something's wrong with you. If you can't hear that something happened and your go-to is that it's fake. These idiots that we have to occupy spaces with, they actually watch videos and they say it's fake. I came across 2 comments where people said that it was fake. They were literally commenting on some shit in the video that to them means that it was fake. And I just think how sad for you I am that you just don't get it. Like, you're dumb and you need to wake up. Just because some shit is fake doesn't mean that everything is fucking fake. So what happened on Sunday is equivalent to the Queen of England being at some annual event in the UK and twerking on stage to back that ass up. This shit is equivalent to Beyonce shooting up heroin, okay, in between choruses of a song. This is like Drake sucking dick. Or you know what? This is like Kanye West sucking Pete Davidson's dick at the Grammys. I'm sorry I'm so dumb, y'all. This is like Zendaya presenting an award in full Klansman attire with a headpiece and the white robe. This is like Barack coming out on stage only wearing a Speedo, which I would be very happy to see. Okay, so then apparently after this situation happened, or let me talk about the situation. The problem with all of this shit is that Will Smith was laughing And then he decided to spring into action when he saw that Jada wasn't laughing. Note to Jada, you have always presented yourself as a super confident bad bitch. Not everyone knows that you have alopecia. Pretty much everyone found out after the incident that you have alopecia from everything that I heard. I had heard that you had alopecia, but not everyone knows that. And you rock short hair often, and you are super confident. And to have a bald head, that just looks like the look that you're rocking at the moment. It doesn't mean that we're all supposed to know. It is really, really fucked up when people get mad and they act like you're supposed to know everything about them. But regardless, she's presenting herself as this bad bitch with a bald head. And Chris Rock was trying to give a compliment because G.I. Jane was ripped. She was cut. She was shredded. She was gorgeous, pretty. Titties was popping, even though she was super buff. Head was shaved, chiseled. She looked great. Demi Moore looked great. Just like Jada Pinkett looked great. And Jada Pinkett always works on her body. She always has muscles. I understand that Chris was trying to give a compliment. That's all he was trying to do. But the problem is that in 2016, Chris mocked Jada because Jada didn't go to the Oscars, and he said that Jada not going to the Oscars and boycotting was like Rihanna, what do you say, not being in Rihanna's panties. Chris Rock saying that Rihanna never invited him. So he was mocking Jada, basically saying she's D-list. That's why she ain't at the Oscars. And he did that in front of a room of white people, and everybody thought it was super funny. The Rihanna comment was funny, saying that, Jada, nobody wanted her there, whatever, something along those lines. That wasn't funny. It was very rude. So that, honestly, to me, was more worthy of a slap than what he said about G.I. Jane, because that was just a compliment. G.I. Jane was a bad bitch, and Jada's a bad bitch. So Will sees Jada's look. He decides to run on stage, and he slapped Chris Rock so hard that it might as well have been a hit. You see the force, you hear the force of that slap because of the microphone, and it is hard. Like, somebody said that Chris Rock's jaw had to be sizzling like a fajita skillet, which was so funny, but it's true. It's like a little light slap kind of hurts, but this was like, it might as well have been a punch. And then to slap someone on the biggest stage, at the biggest event in the world, one of the biggest events in the world, because this is very worldwide. It's not like the Super Bowl where it's us here in the States. Nah, you got people in Japan and Australia and all that shit, uploading their videos of this bullshit. So to do that on the biggest night of your career and on such a widely watched program, Will was in a trance, and to the point where I can't fathom getting up out of my seat and physically assaulting someone at an event like that. Will, all he had to do was say, keep my wife's name out of your mouth. And he could have said it just as forcefully as he said it, and there would have been no story, really. But with what Will did is he erased the entire show with that one action, and he tainted his career, and he humiliated a fellow black entertainer, all because of some bullshit, all because of some ego, all because of some, very weak joke that did not warrant that. I would have respected Will if he said, keep my wife's name out of your mouth, even though that would have been disruptive. I would have preferred that. And then he could have a chat with him off or outside of the Oscars, after the Oscars. Simple. What he did, I understand that as a woman, yes, when a guy wants to defend me, nothing makes me wetter. Nothing. Literally. Like, I've had 2 guys who wanted to get into a fight before, and I was super wet, okay? Like, I was like, It's a huge turn on, and I get that. And it's sexy, you feel good. I don't got to go down the reasons why it feels great. However, I also want the person I'm with to be able to control themselves if they're at the Oscars. And so people need to not say he was just defending his wife. They need to think about the consequences of that action and how he really should have kept it together. It's inexcusable. Like, it's really divided. And I was so stunned. Like, one of my friends is all like, he really is defending Will, and my friend is like, he would never do that under any circumstances. He would never ever do that. And it's like, when you have fans, your fans are really gonna sit there and defend whatever the hell you do. And it's just wild to see, because in no world is that the appropriate response, especially at the Oscars. Okay, so moving right along. So apparently Denzel Washington and Bradley Cooper, they went and they spoke to Will to calm him down, and Samuel L. Jackson was seen dapping him up. Chris Rock apparently went backstage. There's a story, doesn't make it true or not, that he had like a bump on his lip or whatever from the slap, and he immediately left. And then his people are saying, no, he always planned to leave. No, he was rattled. I didn't really watch the video. I just saw Chris saying, we're giving out documentaries, and my heart is so broken for him. But apparently while Questlove was up there and shit, accepting his documentary award, like, Chris seemed rattled. I didn't see all that. But, everybody's just like, where are Chris's friends? And I know Amy Schumer put out a nice little statement saying that she's still triggered and traumatized. And Chris Rock is actually the one who approached Amy, said, I want to direct her special. And her special, like X amount of specials ago. And he's been a close friend of hers. And pretty much everybody in the comedy community loves and respects Chris. He's a very nice guy. I actually met him once long ago when I was just fangirling. And I was in LA, and I was like, and Chris Rock walked in, and I said, this is my chance. You know what I mean? And he's a sweetheart. He's little. Will Smith is apparently 6'3". I did not know that. I always knew he was tall, but that makes sense. That's what I would clock him at. He's 6'3". And somebody was saying he's 220 pounds or whatever. Chris Rock, we know he's little, or much littler, and that's why what Will did is so pussy. Like, he would never run up on The Rock or anyone like that, ever. But Chris Rock is little, and he was in the most awkward position ever, where he just did not feel that he should physically attack him, which he wouldn't, because he was surprised, but he could have destroyed him with the jokes. Destroyed. Because why is it that I had like a joke comment that I thought of, and it's like totally slipping me. Something about you can't talk about Jada's hair, but you could put your dick in her pussy, essentially, because that's okay with Will, but the whole like, don't mention my, keep her out of your mouth is wild. What was I gonna say? Like, you could keep my wife's, there we go. Keep my wife's name out of your mouth, but put your dick in her pussy. That's basically where Will stands, which is ridiculous. It is early in the morning, y'all. I'm gonna listen to this. It's early in the morning for my ass. I'm gonna listen to this, and then I'm gonna put it out today, probably around 11 a.m. Pacific. Because right now it's like pushing 10 o'clock. Okay, so then Will wins, and the Academy yesterday put out a response saying that they asked Will Smith to leave. Who cares? There isn't anywhere I could go and assault somebody in an establishment, whether it's the motherfucking Oscars, a restaurant, a movie theater, an office. There's nowhere that any of us could go and someone's go say, can you leave? And we go, no. And they're like, okay. No, what they do is they get you yoked up and they toss you out the building. I have been kicked out of bars. I've been kicked out of clubs. And what them people didn't do is they didn't ask me to leave. I'm 5'4", and these big ass security guards come to manhandle me and kick me the fuck out the place. So you don't ask somebody to leave. You physically remove them from the premises. So the Academy saying that they asked him to leave is bullshit. That's why are you going to ask somebody who knows they about to pick up an award to leave? If they cared, they would have tossed Will Smith. And somebody was saying they thought he would have been tossed and somebody else would have just accepted the award in his honor, or in replace of him. But no, they were like, this man could run up on stage, slap someone, sit back on stage, scream out, then get back up on stage. Like, Hollywood has its own fucked up set of rules. And I just have to say that I thought it was gangsta, and I had mad respect for Will Smith for not apologizing to Chris Rock in his acceptance speech because he wasn't sorry. If he was sorry, if Will were sorry, he would have apologized, but he specifically made sure to apologize to everyone but Chris. And I'm like, yes, stand in your truth. I don't like fake apologies. I don't like people trying to force apologies out of people. I don't like the fakeness. He was happy that he slapped. In that moment, at least, he was happy that he ran up on Chris, and that's why he didn't apologize. It was so gangster. That I thought was dope. Just keep it 100. Let me see here. I'm looking at my notes. So what Will did, it's shameful. It's one of the most epic displays of why a bad temper will ruin your life. And it just shows us that celebrities do not share the same planet with us. Okay. Yeah, so when Will, if you notice in his speech, he was like, oh, I hope the Academy will invite me back. That makes more sense now after learning that the Academy asked him to get the fuck out. And he refused, which I would too. It's like the damage has already been done. I'm gonna sit right here and get my fucking award. You ain't gonna tell me to leave. I'm Will Smith. Okay. So I hope that Chris is okay because I have felt way too much secondhand embarrassment for him. And it pains me that he's a meme. Like, this shit is funny, obviously. Like, this shit had me dying. All of us, we would just never expect squeaky clean Will to do something to someone that we just assumed was his friend. Like, it was like, it's not like this was some Kanye, Pete Davidson shit. This was not arch nemesis shit that we would expect. This was so out of nowhere for all of us. Yeah, the secondhand embarrassment that I feel for Chris, it's like, it's too much for me. I don't even want to know what he feels because I feel emasculated. I feel emasculated just by watching this bullshit. The way that he kept his composure and was like, his comments after, like, whoa, you never knew this would be the most blah, blah, blah. Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me. I mean, what? There would have been a puddle beneath me. I would have already pissed my pants. Like, everybody's calling it professionalism. I call that shit talent. Okay? The fact that he was able to really just steer the ship away from from the worst moment of his professional career and the most embarrassing thing that nobody wants to happen to them. I am in awe. I am in awe. Let me see here. Also, this is something that I hadn't heard anybody saying, but I felt that Will was very ready to rush the stage and hit Chris again. And I am using the word hit because that slap, it was more like, it felt like a punch slap combo. Like, as far as like the force of that shit. Like, think about when you see a bitch slap someone across the face, like on Real Housewives or on any type of show or movie. That shit just makes a little tap. This shit was like, bam, like he trying to knock the head off. Like, so anyway, I do think that Will, anyhow, Chris said anything else about Jada, oh my God, there would have been blood on that stage. Will was so ready. Will, after slapping Chris, Will, it's like he was more upset. It's like the anger wasn't released from his body. He was energized by it. You could tell by how he was like, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. You could tell that he was like just getting started. So I feel that Will was ready to attack again. And I feel that security still wouldn't even done shit because they were like, this is good for ratings. Let me see here. So yeah, I think that things definitely would have escalated if Chris said something else. And then lastly, to the white people who believe that celebrities should be flawless and punished severely, check your jealousy and shut the fuck up. None of us have spent 30 years thriving in the most competitive industry in the world. Thriving, okay? Not being a one-hit wonder, not being a has-been, but thriving, owning the industry. Will has out-earned his white peers countless times because they know that he pulls numbers. He gets people in seats. That's not easy to do. He had to play a part. He had to be extremely charismatic and likable and talented to excel for decades in a very racist industry that loves to typecast people and not even give them an opportunity. He deserved his Oscar. I didn't see King Richard, but I believe that he deserved it and that his Oscar shouldn't be taken away from him. And it really sucks that there are even discussions. People are even planting those seeds, even mentioning it. Shit's under review. Like, it's pretty sad that even has to be a topic for him. He should be celebrating. But I just want to say, stop being a hater while failing to mention, just don't sit there and be a hater and talk about what Will Smith did as if y'all don't have a long and persistent history of doing fucked up shit. Just stop it. Like, let's not do this. I think too many people, there's something very disturbing to me about people loving to tear people down, and you don't have to show your jealousy that way. You don't have to show your bitterness that way. If you would do something differently, do it differently. But you don't got to be all super almighty and self-righteous about it and shit when you don't even know what the fuck you would do in certain circumstances if you weren't in those circumstances. So let ye who is without a single flaw cast the first angry tweet. That's Ephesians 4:29. You know I'm bullshitting. You know that. But whatever. So that is all I have to say about that incident. I'm proud of myself. I feel like I didn't say again every 4 words. So this shit should have been in the beginning, but I'm definitely not going to edit this. I don't edit these fucking episodes. So I am flying out of state on Wednesday. I decided not to tell y'all where I'm going. I might give a few hints, but I decided it's not in my best interest to do that. And so I'll give some updates that I was hoping to give up top on this episode, but I forgot, and it's the end of the episode, so I don't really know how many people are listening to this chunk. But yeah, I fly out on Wednesday. Also, I watched Bridgerton, and I will be reviewing that, I think next week, but maybe the week after. I hoped for it to be next week. I did not like it. So I'm just going to put that out there. I did not like it, and I will go into why I did not like it. Huge disappointment to me. So maybe I should be thanking Will Smith for hijacking my night and not having me watch more Bridgerton on that particular night. So in 1 or 2 weeks, I will be recapping Bridgerton. Thank you again for listening. I really appreciate it, especially to this episode, because I'm sure you've heard dozens and dozens of opinions about this. So I really appreciate you allowing me to add my opinion. And I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Have a great week.